Welcome to another stupid episode of the Ramen Chef from Naked Banana. So here's the ingredients that you'll need for today's episode. Hold on. You'll need 1 packet of top ramen, chicken flavor, cooks in 3 minutes ramen noodle soup. You could use beef flavor or you could use an off-brand variety, but I do not recommend it. You need 1 strainer for noodles. You need 1 measuring cup. 1 cup or 2 cups is good. You need 1 pot. Try to reuse the same pot that you cooked ramen noodles in last time, assuming that you eat ramen noodles 3 meals a day like I do. So, today what we'll be making is ramen noodles without broth. I credit this recipe to my sister. So the first thing you do, you take your measuring cup. Just fill it up to 1 cup. And slowly pour it in. Be careful not to spill it. There we go. And now, get another cup. And here we go. So now, pour that in too. Then, see this? Push this down. Lights, you move it on to high. So there we go. While we're doing this, I'll show you the proper way to open a ramen package. So some people think that you could just tear them open, but that's not how you do it. You really have to use some sort of tool. So let me find something around this kitchen. What do we have? Let's look. Something. No. Let's look again. This should work. So grab a cutting board. Oh, sorry. Place it on the counter and do this. And slice it open, just like that. There you go. You've opened your packet of ramen noodles. So then just do this, pull out the flavor packet, do this, and then of course, we embark in the new tradition. So you take this, you dump it in your hand like that, ooh, little crunchy bits, and then you eat them. ASMR eating ramen noodle chunks. ASMR tapping a cutting board with a knife. Welcome to ASMR Naked Banana. Today, I'm tapping things with a knife. Okay, well, that concludes ASMR Naked Banana. But so, let's check. Is our water boiling? So, here's a surefire way to test if your water's boiling. So these little bubbles don't count. But if there's bubbles that are bigger, they do count. So now here's a helpful tip. Supposedly if you add a little tiny bit of salt, it actually boils faster. I don't know if that's true, so I can't claim anything. Okay. So now let's wait. So as you can see, it's almost boiling. Just look at that, look at the bubbles forming on the side. I think it should be ready in maybe a minute or 2. So while we're doing that, I'm going to read you the ingredients of top ramen. So here's the ingredients. Enriched flour, wheat flour, niacin, reduced iron, thiamine, mononitrate, riboflavin, Oh, this is a really tasty ingredient. Folic acid, yeah, don't you remember that? Don't forget that. Palm oil, salt, contains less than 2% of oysteroid yeast extract. Oh, and look, our ramen noodles are boiling. Well, our water is boiling. So, some people say you can put this in with just your hands, but that's not right. You gotta put it in with a tool. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a fork, we do fork trick, yeah, okay, and slowly drop it in like that. So then now, cool it down a little so it doesn't boil away all the water. Let's just do this. So now we have our flavor packet. We are not going to add it to the broth this time, because this is ramen noodles without broth. So, let me turn this back up, because it's boiling too slow. Okay. And as you can see, it's getting moist and soggy on one side, so that is a clear sign that we should flip it over, like this. And so now, we can stir it up with this fork that we now do have in our cabinet. So basically, here we have it. We have our ramen noodles. We're stirring them up. Let's. Okay, so I think this is almost done, but let's just keep doing it. So a good technique for stirring is pull it up, way up, way up, way up like that, and then drop it. And then if it falls outside of the bowl, just do that. And so that, and see if you can get just a tiny bit, like that. It gives it a much more a better texture. Okay, I think that's about good. So next, you take the dial, flip it to off. So these pots don't really get that hot. It's safe to hold them by the handle when like this. So just pick it up, pick this up, and put this in the sink. And then pour the noodles into here. And so here we have the noodles with no broth, but they're flavorless. So let's grab us a bowl from up here. Take these noodles and dump them in the bowl. And add a tad bit of water. And now, flavor packet. So some people say you can open these without a tool. But those people are just crazy. Okay, so you know what? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this knife, and you find the opening to that, and you cut it like that. Be careful. Your pan is still hot, so if you're cutting this near the pan, you should be careful. So then you hold this off. And yeah, you give it a little tug for good measure. Or a little cut for good measure. You know. And you dump it on the noodles. Now, if you've burned your finger on the pan, it's a good idea to go get some ice. After you finish what you're doing, of course. So yeah, you dump the noodles, you dump that on there, then you grab your fork, and you stir it up. Stir it up more than you think you should, because otherwise you're just going to end with noodles that are way, way too salty. So, because all the powder is concentrated in one area, and no one likes that. So keep stirring it up, stirring it up, stirring it up. And then you're almost done with your ramen without broth. So it's now time for the tasting of ramen without broth. So let me just get a sizable bite like that. And so while my sister may like this, I personally think that this is too salty, and the broth gives it a more full meal sort of feeling. So I don't like this. I rate it 5 out of 8 on my ramen scale of goodness. So I think my video editor will be eating this instead of me. Okay, so this was Ramen Chef from Naked Banana, signing off.